Prof, what about the Supreme Court decision bothered you the most? Because, for instance, we were talking about former Supreme Court justices speaking out, and we're referring to is the Justice Adolf Escuna, who was also one of the framers of the Constitution, and he pointed to a few things that the underlying issues, conflict of interest, for instance, because they themselves are impeachable officials, accountability, the fact that in the 1987 Constitution, they deliberately made it easier to hold officials accountable, right, by lowering the ratio for the votes for the both houses of Congress, and then meron din issue around due process. Justice Escuna was saying that due process does not apply. There's no constitutional basis for enforcing due process throughout all the phases of impeachment. Out of all these things, what about it? What about the Supreme Court decision bothers you the most?
Dagdag lang sa tanong ni Reg, Prof. Sabi kasi, yung usually reticent Justice Escuna, ang sinabi niya, the Supreme Court decision didn't just amend the Constitution, it derailed the Constitution. Kanya na, very, very sharp yung kanyang banat, no? For a former Justice of the Supreme Court na usually ay subdued. No?
I think the commentators are almost in complete agreement. Like, for example, yung concept ng effective dismissal ng impeachment complaints na hindi naman na-initiate to begin with. Diba? Following yung earlier Supreme Court decisions sa Francisco, sa Gutierrez, hindi yan initiate and yet somehow na-dismiss. So that's unusual. Yung due process, I agree with Justice Escuna, ang daming layers na nilagay yung Supreme Court, none of which are actually can be found in the Constitution. Sabi silang, if you're impeaching a justice, it has to do with their independence daw. I don't know where that came from. Yeah? So, yung dalawang main issue na yon plus other things like yung insinuations nila na political yung agenda ng House. I don't know why you have to assume or saying that this is all about political vendetta wala namang basis for saying that. Diba? Hindi lang to, they didn't just change the Constitution. They said, do it the right way, don't do it for politics. Kung ako yung House, ilang beses na ako na-insulto ng Supreme Court eh. So, meron pa. Gusto nyo pa? I'm sorry.
Yeah, go on.
More.
I need Justice Escuna na, okay, let's assume you change the rules. Sabihin natin, there's never been a case like this. There's never been a case like this before na hindi ni-refer yung impeachment complaint sa committee, di ba? Sa Justice Committee. Sabihin ng Supreme Court, well, so because this is the first time, we are making a new rule. Okay, fine. Pero pag new rule yan, then why apply it to a present case? Diba na gumugulong na? In other words, the House acted in good faith dahil sinusundan nila yung mga previous Supreme Court decisions. Sabi ng Supreme Court, new rule because new set of facts. And then apply it. Normally, they would apply it to the future cases.
Sir, I'm sure you remember yung in the last 2 decades ago, there was one lawyer who was famous for being a serial filer of impeachment complaints, to supposedly or apparently to immunize the incumbent from more serious impeachment complaints. So, with that in mind, I'm wondering lang, if this one stands, if the decision stands, and hindi na bago yan, hindi na amend yan, what's the effect on future impeachment cases filings? Kailan bale, if you look at how it's written right now, kailan magsisimula ang one-year bar? Is it when somebody files an impeachment complaint and it's not acted upon?
Lalo na yung sinabi nila tungkol sa mga constitutional bodies. Talagang hinigpitan. No? So, will impeachment be possible in the future because of these changes, Prof? Medyo matindi yung pagbabago,
Baka nga dalawang rules ngayon, no? Sabihin nila pag, I'll admit, medyo confused din ako. But they might be implying or saying na hindi naman nila in-overturn yung Francisco eh. So,
Aha.
in cases, di ba? So, in cases where mayroong mga private citizens na nag-file, tapos ni-refer sa committee, then na-initiate na yun. Diba?
Yes, yes, sir.
They can actually say that's still the rule. Except that sabi nila, in cases naman, where nag-adjourn yung Congress without any action,
hindi
that
ginalaw.
also triggers the 1 year ban.
Yes,
So,
sir.
hindi ko rin alam.
That's the portion where, and I'm quoting from the decision. I think this is the relevant portion. The 1-year ban should be reckoned from the initiation of the impeachment complaint if unacted upon or when it is dismissed if it has been partially acted upon. So does that mean na pwede mag-unahan na lang ng filing ng impeachment complaint? Kung hindi inaktuhan yung first impeachment complaint na na-file, yun na yung simula ng 1-year bar.
Yes, that's a possibility. So, yung dating practice ng filing of the defective impeachment complaints, maaaring mangyari naman makita na naman natin yung search ng ganitong klaseng kaso.
Yung immunizing the incumbent.
Yes. Triggering the 1-year ban, di ba?
Mm.
Yan. So, pwede mangyari yan.
Okay.